I actually got only 7 that I'm looking at it.
All right, just copy to my top last 3. You be straight. All right, welcome back. Secret House Against the World, Tokyo-based hip-hop album reviews, music connoisseurs from all types of different places. We all from Africa, though. Even our white listeners. Shout out to Africa. That almost sounded like a vinyl scratch. What was that, your jacket? Yeah, so we've got, what other album review channel has a volunteer firefighter?
Put in that work.
And a professional model. And an idiot. Well, a lot of them have idiots.
Wait, why did you just list me twice?
I know. Who knew Jet was a fireman?
Yeah, me and Stipe go way back.
Word, man. Today we're doing something a little different because we are fans of music in general and even, make weird genre music as well.
True story.
We decided to put together a top 10 non-hip-hop genre albums. It might get a little fuzzy because, hip-hop can sound like a lot of things.
What is genre?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Today we are doing that. Please hit the like, subscribe button. Check out some of these albums. We haven't reviewed most of these. I think we've got a review for one of the albums on my top 10 list over the year. But other than that, maybe we can dabble into this a little bit more next year, other genres and such. But let's start off by explain the way that you came to decide on how to make your list. Did you do the same thing?
I did the same thing.
Okay.
So for those who didn't see the hip-hop review, go watch that. But I just found like a ranker online where you could put a full list down and then it would ask you, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the Mars Volta or do you prefer the Panda Bear? And then you click the one you want. And then eventually after you've done that 100-something times, it gives you a ranking.
When you sent us the screenshots this morning, I was like, wow, that's a really cool website that is how strange that Denzel Curry and Fatboy Sharif are being put together. And I read it as Rachel Dolezal, and I was like, I choose Rachel Dolezal every time.
Posted a picture from her.
Hey, man, it
Shout
was
out
not
to Rachel.
new.
I didn't know.
Man, I'm telling you.
I didn't know.
One of us. I looked at her OnlyFans. I was like, oh, we'll keep her. Y'all can have Kanye. We'll keep Rachel Dolezal.
You saw that picture? I'm like, oh, I had no idea.
Bro, I'm telling you, she's doing work.
Got some cakes.
All right. That's why. Okay. Back to business. I chose my albums through tedious task of just remembering what I liked the most this year. And because we review mostly hip hop, I feel like I didn't listen to as many non-hip hop albums this year. Hip hop just occupies so much of my brain space here in Japan because I've been doing the Mega Late Show hip hop shit for 6 years now, and then this. So a lot of times I'm missing a lot of albums that come out that are in genres that I actually enjoy, like indie rock and metal and punk, and so I just kind of found albums that did make it into my circle. Some thanks to Jet even, and some thanks to you, and I just kind of ranked them on what I listened to most and enjoyed most.
For me, my process was just these songs
scrambling at the last minute.
Actually, the songs that make me feel. I typically will listen to not even just new stuff, but old stuff that just makes me feel something emotionally, like voices that just hit me and give me goosebumps. So I just pick the albums that motivate me or just make me feel something. So that's how I chose.
What?
Bet. Let's go into it.
Let's go backwards from our last video. So, Spade, you go first.
Yeah. Oh, word. Here we go. All right. So, Amy Winehouse, old album, Lioness, love it.
What is it, a reissue with
the
posthumous?
Oh, I'm sorry. We supposed to do like...
That also didn't come out. That came out like 10 years ago.
So here's the thing. I'm sorry. Was that supposed to be albums this year?
Yes.
Oh, then I'm off, guys.
Spade did not understand the assignment.
Hey. I checked 3 times, guys. But some of these albums didn't come out this year. I apologize.
Also, Lioness is fucking garbage. I fucking hate that album.
He's like, booty!
Watch this.
I'm out! All right, yeah.
Lioness, cynical, posthumous, bunch of old demos. Amy always sounds good, of course, but she's like clearly not in her best on any of these tracks, drowning in reverb. Clearly would have never released any of these things herself had
Thanks
she
for
been
shitting on my
alive.
dreams, Jet.
Fuck Lioness.
When I finish my list.
Rest in
Did this
peace,
come
Amy.
out?
I love you.
Did this come out
I
this
love
year?
you.
2015.
No, it came out like 2012.
2015 it came out.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that one,
I never listened to it.
You know what? I'm just gonna stop my list because
No, do it. Get it.
Yo,
We'll do it anyway.
I'm gonna tell you the list I got.
Well, just
What
give
did
us
you
the
listen to
ones
this
from
year?
this year, and then that'll be your
Okay.
list. Just go in order, but
All right,
just
here we
omit the joints that didn't.
the Beyonce Renaissance album.
Great.
Is one or three?
No, I'm just naming no
Okay,
order
okay.
right now. The Beyonce Renaissance album, the Slipknot Insofar album, great album, and that Alt Origin album, and A Slushy Summer by Slushy. That'll be my list then.
Okay.
Oh, and yeah, that's it.
The Beyonce is. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm done.
The Beyonce is excellent.
It
It's-
is done
it's-
well.
That
Well
album
done.
cover is good.
It's Mega's
I love it.
disapproving of anything like I mean
I
she's
just
a
didn't
billionaire. I
listen
get
to
it.
it. I
But,
didn't listen to it.
No, I mean Beyonce, considering her stature in the world of popular music, I really appreciate she's still like an album artist, especially from like what 4 onwards. Those are like the self-titled Lemonade. Those are clearly meant to be consumed as albums and not as like algorithm bait. Not like the Kanye or the Drake where it's 30 tracks long and there's all kinds of genres and stuff and just anything to try and get the Spotify algorithm ticking. The Beyonce album is a complete cohesive album, and Virgo's Groove is one of my favorite songs of the year.
The time of the album release was really just got her. Like a lot of folks just wasn't ready for the album. She tried to do that whole Beyonce thing.
Well, she moved it forwards, right?
Yeah.
Because Drake released his, and it was like a really, really terrible house
Version of
music
hers,
album.
yeah.
Okay, right.
And then Beyonce was like, "Oh, I did a good house music album. Let's just release that now." And then
We
it
had
got
Burnout from
released.
Drake.
But yeah, the Beyonce does everything correctly that the Drake does wrong.
Word.
It's also a play though, like on what I didn't like about the Beyonce album, but she did it eloquently. She gave homage to where she was getting the music from.
It's
Drake didn't
it's
do
very
that.
it's very queer.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of
It's basically,
salutes
yeah.
to the LGBT community.
Can I say
and
gay
just, like,
music?
gay music, I guess.
Because it's
Yeah.
kind of because this is the music you would hear if you ever DJed in the gay club, which I have. So
Yeah.
like that's the kind of music that I played at gay clubs. So like that's why I like this ain't innovative.
So it does try to manipulate the algorithm.
It does. Well, it's
message.
I gotta say, the one thing that's a little strange about the album is that, unlike the other ones where Beyonce is clearly rapping from the persona of the character Beyonce, who is like unassailable, on this one you do have tracks where she's like, "Oh, I just quit my job. Like, oh, I'm working my 9 to 5. I'm gonna hit the club and dance my problems away." And it's like, "Yo, Beyonce, we know you
You
don't
have
do
no
that.
problems.
That's never
Well,
been a problem.
that's
for you."
not fair. You got problems. Probably.
But yeah, great album.
Yeah, it's a great album. So that's my list. I'm sorry, guys. I misunderstood the assignment, so I'm gonna moving on to you guys.
It's all right. We'll get it right in year 3.
Maybe.
All right. All right, top 10. Number 10, Ibibio Sound Machine, Electricity. Number 9, Kaho Nakamura, NIA, or Nia, I don't know how you pronounce that. Number 8, No Such Thing, Continua. Number 7,
Miss that one.
not really an album, but it is 15 minutes long, so I used it anyway. Goto and Otake Kohan, Hosto.
A lot of Japanese in here.
Number 6, Zealand Ardor, self-titled. Number 5, Surface to Air Missive, Shadows Leap. Number 4, Chat Pile, God's Country. Number 3, Hyper Sardines, Boil Shock. Number 2, Black Midi, Hellfire. Number 1, Otoboke Beaver, Super Champon.
It's a phenomenal list. There's a few on there that I don't know.
So quick run through the Ibibio Sound Machine. They're a group from London, I believe. And it's a pretty ethnically diverse group, but a lot of the music is in the Ibibio language of Nigeria, very heavily influenced by Nigerian music.
Is that the drummer that was on the video with Morgan that I
No,
Okay,
that's
that's a whole nother different thing?
Mahamadou Mokhtar you're thinking
Okay.
of.
he be killing with the pronunciation,
right?
dog.
Ibibio
don't let
Sound
him,
Machine.
Let him go off in French and shit. He be in that shit.
It's like really funky, it's electronic, it's danceable, and it's got this uniquely African thing going on. Kind of reminds me of like Atakak or You know, like those kind of
Okay.
like old school, like 90s electronic acts
yeah.
that were coming out of Africa. Like, you know, they were the only dudes with the synthesizer
Yeah.
in that area.
The
or whatever.
only dude with a synthesizer.
It was
Shout out to
tight.
William Onyebor.
William Onyebor, exactly. There's a bit of
Yeah.
that going on. I don't know anything
Congotronic,
about
yeah.
the Ibibio language. I don't really know what a lot of the lyrics are about, but you know, it's very British. It's very African at the same time. It's
that's dope.
Really dope album. Kaho Nakamura, she's like a pianist, singer, songwriter. She was very jazzy and weird earlier on in her career. This album is like her poppiest and most kind of upbeat electronic work, and it works really, really well. She has a great sensibility for pop, but also she throws in those jazz chords. She'll throw you off. She does a little bit more with it. The first track sounds like some Crash Bandicoot shit, and then by the end, like you're like crying. It's like very emotional. She's all over the place musically, and she's very good at basically all of it. The No Such Thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that dropped. Maybe I'm not following him
put
on
an album
shit.
out.
Like, yeah. He's ill, yeah.
It's more No Such Thing, and it's all very good. There's a bunch of great features on there. You got like Kazu Makino from Blonde Redhead on there.
Oh, yeah?
I'm trying to think who else
that's ill.
is on there. It's been a minute. I haven't. I have to check over the track list. I loved it when it dropped. It came out in October, so not that long ago. It's got Hyuko on there, the Korean singer. Tori Ma's on there. Pink Shifu's on there.
Sam Gendel,
Panda
my
Bear.
man Sam Gendel, Slots and Balloon.
Sam Geldo's on there. Loads and loads of
Pink
great
Sifu,
features on there.
Panda Bear.
And it's
I did hear the Panda Bear
Very,
No Such Thing track.
Yeah, diverse range of sounds. I think it's some of his best work yet.
Okay.
Goto no Take Kohan, like I said, not an album. It's kind of a single, but it's 3 tracks, about 15 minutes long. The first track starts out as this like very laid back acoustic guitar, and then it explodes into this giant prog rock odyssey. And I've listened to that song. I think it was the 5th most listened to song I had this year. I listened to it a fuck ton, and it's excellent. It's super weird. Shouts out to Otake Kohan because he's super prolific, and his band Lagi Tagida are amazing. Zealand Ardor, Swiss-based but kind of American black metal band fronted by Emmanuel Gagneux.
Yeah, you've spoken about that.
I've spoken about him before. He started this project going on. He went on 4chan and was like, hey, let me mix any 2 genres.
4chan?
Yeah, so he was like, I'm going to mix
Gospel
any 2
and
genres.
metal.
Give it to me. And somebody said black metal, and the next person
Negro
said
spiritual.
nigger music. He said
Wow.
nigger music.
I mean, it's
and
4chan.
Which exactly is what you'd expect.
Yeah,
And Manuel took that and he released the first album, Devil Is Fine, which is a mix of like Negro spiritual and black metal, a lot of chanting and percussive, but also very dark and ambient.
I think you might fuck with it, but I also think that Jet told us about this more than once. Yeah,
I've mentioned it. Yeah.
He's talked to me about Zealand Ardor more than a few times. I've listened to it quite a bit as well.
Run and Gota Damerong were both like some of my most listened tracks of the year. They go super hard. They're great. Surface to Air Missive, Shadows Leap. Surface to Air Missive is basically one guy, Taylor Ross. I don't remember where he's from. He was on Brain Feeder for a while. He's like super tight with Matthew David. Sorry, not Brain Feeder. He's Stone's Throw. He released on Stone's Throw.
Okay.
Really, really beautiful approach to chords. This guy he comes up with the strangest chord progressions, but they never sound like forced or overly
Be sure to post this list on the description.
verbose like
so
Jacob
I can listen to
Collier.
it.
Both of y'all,
It'll
all
all
of
be
y'all
in the
need to send me the
description. It'll
list.
be
Yeah.
down here.
Y'all need to send me it.
Chat Pile, God's Country, number 4. Chat Pile, band from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Super
USA?
like Oklahoma
God
City.
damn.
Yeah. Very. Is there another Oklahoma?
I don't know. I was asking. Yeah.
Oklahoma, France. Yeah.
Told you to be killing that shit.
I know.
Really,
I'm
really
like, yo, where is that?
dark, gritty, but also like distinctly left-leaning. Politically
with
very
it.
engaged. And also their ascent has been an absolute joy to watch. Their guitarist Griff is, Luther Manhole is his alias, is an
Manhole.
associate of mine. And he's
Luther.
Yeah. The project's incredible. I'm really, really proud. Like, I'm really happy for these guys and how far they've come. Number 3, Hyper Sardines, Boil Shock. Hyper Sardines is a Japanese project.
Never heard of it.
It's the drummer Goto, who is also on my number 7. Super virtuosic, like kind of jazz drummer. He's also in the band Daljub Step Club, who I love a lot. And Kamano Ai, who was the lead singer of the math rock band Haisui no Nasa. And it's just vocals and drums. The whole album is vocals and drums. And it's like chopped up vocals. It's weird. I can't really do it any justice just talking
What's
about
the
it.
album?
Hyper Sardines.
Yeah, I'll be checking that out later.
Yeah, the track God literally sounds like the world ending. It's incredible. Number 2, Black Midi Hellfire. I guess we'll talk about that when we get to your list.
Yeah, it's on my list.
And Otoboke Beaver, Super Champon, which I guess is also on your list.
Also on my list.
So yeah, Mega, why don't you get into your list?
Well, you know, as I'm sitting here, I have 5 albums with a number 10 next to it. I'm trying to decide exactly how to do it.
Hey, take my spots. It's okay.
Yeah, well,
have my 5.
You know, all right. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm wondering if should I give it to Sudan Archives or Animal Collective. So I'll just put them both there, kind of like what Spade did last year with the.
Sure, you can use up to the 7 albums that Spade did.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Well
go
then,
for it.
I got Sam Prekop, the Sparrow. Sam is really dope. I first heard about him on a Prefuse album 20 years ago, but he's incredible. I also have Gold Panda, The Work, which is just more Gold Panda type of IDM type of beat making. And then number 10, Sudan Archives, Natural Brown Prom Queen. This is probably like my R&B pop mix of the year. She's a really dope multi-instrumentalist, and she plays the violin. And she's been blowing up more than I had realized. But apparently, she's been on like some of the late shows.
Letterman's not around no more. But
Fallon's or your Kimmel's.
What's that dude?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Not the other guy.
Jimmy Fallon.
Stephen Colbert.
That guy.
Stephen Colbert. Yeah, she's been on those shows, but she is absolutely killing it. Her rendition of King Kunta is like a kind of an inspired a cappella violin remix that is really dope. Then also number 10, Animal Collective, Time Skiffs. I've been a longtime fan of Animal Collective before they kind of lean more into the lean outside of the psychedelic folk music realm that they were in around sung-tongs. But I really do think this album is kind of a return to form and at least more interesting than their last few joints. Number 9, the Mars Volta, self-titled.
It's a good album.
One song in particular I just really, really loved, and it doesn't even sound like a Mars Volta type of track. It's a little bit more pop, Collapsible Shoulders. That was on my top listened songs of the year. Now, granted, I fell asleep listening to it one night, and it just looped and looped, but I'm certain that it would still make the list because I really did enjoy it that much.
Do that on my album, please. Just loop it in your sleep.
Word. Number 8, More Mother and DJ Haram. No, actually, this is not Jazz Codes. This is their collaborative project called 700 Bliss. Nothing to declare. It's much different.
Really?
A little bit harder electronic or Afro future.
Would I like it?
You enjoyed the last More Mother, so probably this one is different. Yeah, I mean, all of her music is fairly different, but this one is kind of hard. Number 7, Salt. 11.
UK represent.
Yeah, they are a really kind of mysterious group of artists who will drop an album and then remove it from all traces of humanity when they can.
They released 5 albums at once this year at one point.
Yeah, yep. But 11 is great in Spade. You might like it. It's
Salt,
wonderful production. Yeah, SAULT. Number 6, Otoboke Beaver. It auto-corrected to Super Champion.
Which would have been a better title, IMO.
Yeah, right.
Super Champion sounds fucking hard.
Yeah. that one, was, I guess Jed and I will talk about it a little bit in just a moment. Number 5, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Omnium Gatherum. That shit, like...
that sounds hilarious.
They released like 3 albums this year, but
more.
Man, more than 3 albums, but
5,
man,
I think.
Kepler 22B is like they go, they hop around from genre to genre and they're just phenomenal musicians. But Kepler, I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, what the
best
fuck?
songs of the year. It's some DJ Shadow type shit.
Yeah, it's just really, really
gorgeous.
dope. Number 4 is Shabaka, Africa Culture. Shabaka Hutchings is a multi-instrumentalist. He's also kind of the head of Shabaka and the Ancestors, which is a really powerful jazz music group. This album is just great. Like, I don't know what to say. I turn it on. It feels kind of like nostalgic, but also new. And he's just really great at creating these atmospheres that make me feel kind of like I'm hopping in and chilling with the ancestors and shit. Shabaka Hutchings, but he just goes by Shabaka now, I suppose. Number 3, Black Midi.
Hellfire.
I feel like the recency bias is a little bit here, not because of the album just came out, but Jed and
saw
I
them.
just last weekend we went to go check them out here in Tokyo.
Oh, I saw all
And
the messages, by the way. I was
My-
like, man,
it was-
these guys
it
are
was
going
fucking-
crazy.
Yeah, it was dope.
I'm kind of mad at them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of mad.
I'm a
Black
little
Midi,
bit mad.
you're on my fucking list.
Yeah.
You played 2 sets back to back. They were both kind of short. That was clearly like meant to be like a 2-hour show, and you probably asked for some more money, which fair enough. Get paid. I respect that. And then the promoter was like, all right, just do 2 shows on one night. You kind of split it in half, and it was like, for the cost of the tickets. And also, you played all of my favorite songs in the set
Second
I
set,
didn't go to.
Yeah.
Wait.
I was a little
So
sad
it was
about
2
that.
sets?
Yeah.
Yes, they played 2
different
back-to-back
sets.
shows.
So it was like one at 6 o'clock and then the other one at
like
10:30?
Yeah, something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
And they played all your songs on the next one?
Yeah.
How
well,
much
we
for the
didn't go
tickets?
On
to-
top of that, I heard
7,000.
I heard that they.
Ooh, damn.
I also heard that they did a surprise
Like a
secret
surprise
show,
secret show
with Dos Monos, and I gotta say my feelings were a little bit hurt.
Although
Like, I
the
was
guys
expecting
in that
the
video
were
were not Dos
Monos at all.
So
None
I
of
don't
them.
know what
So,
rough
but-
trade we're talking about.
But I was like, Dos Monos, you guys are my friends. But maybe they don't know that I like Black Midi. I haven't spoken to them and seen them in person since Corona.
The Hellfire is I mean, it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's great.
And like Welcome to Hell is one of my favorite tracks of the
Yeah.
year. Sugar
I
Tzu
thought they
is
were
one of
gonna
my favorite
start
tracks of
with
the
that.
year.
Like, why not start with Welcome to Hell?
Y'all text was hilarious, by
Yeah.
the way. I'm down for Bogart and getting to the front.
Yeah,
I'm going to start
yeah.
pushing people. I'm like,
Just like
damn,
I'm too
y'all some
tall for that.
jerks.
They were so polite. It was the weirdest fucking like metal rock type of show I've ever been to.
Everyone's standing there quietly while these
Jed
guys
and
go
I
crazy on
were
stage.
getting into it, and then I'd look around and I'd feel like, oh, I'm doing too much here. But number 2, Soul Glow, Diaspora Problems.
Really?
Spiritual level of gang shit, bro. Get out of my face with that.
Who going to kick my ass? Who going to
Exactly.
kick my ass?
All right, and number 1 is an artist that I actually just became familiar with, and
DJ L-Spades?
yes. Yeah, no, it's an artist that I just became familiar with, and I came across him. You know how Spotify has like similar artists, and I think I was listening to like Sam Gendel or somebody, and I saw the name Contour, and I was like, what is this? I like people with names like that. I listen to like Oval and bullshit.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it, and the album's
Shouts
called
out Oval. Sorry.
yeah, Contour. It's called Onwards, and apparently he's a brother from somewhere in the Midwest. It is a very unique and interesting kind of jazzy R&B leaning into kind of pop tropes at times that has these really interesting moods. And I listened to it on repeat and on repeat, and I put him at number 1 just because I thought, like, why not? This is the fucking guy. Like, it was just an incredible experience for me. I didn't get tired of the tracks at any point. Some of it sounds a little bit more hip-hoppy electronic. Some of it sounds organic. It's hard to tell if it's a sample or if it's live instrumentation, and he really weaves together a really great album. I'm not sure if it's his first or his 7th, but I'm rocking with him, and I'll be paying attention to his work more in the future.
And I will get my stuff together next year, guys.
Finally gonna do it. And yeah, because my number 1, we didn't talk about. My number 1 was the Otoboke Beaver Super Champon, which was on your list as well.
We could like
We
play
could
like set like be quiet for 1 minute and play like 3
Play, like,
songs.
5 tracks, yeah.
Yeah. It's like some of the songs are like 26. It's punk. It's like 26 seconds. You know,
You want
17.
to play like George and Janice off that album real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Auto. There we go. Yeah.
Or I checked your cell phone, George and Janice. One of those is yeah.
Here we go. Hold on. With George and Janice, here we go. Oh shit, I'm going the wrong
The
direction.
wrong way. You're turning it down.
I'm quite surprised to see the popularity that they're garnering around the world. Apparently, they were opening for Black Midi.
They opened for Black Midi in Osaka.
In Osaka, this shit is real.
They're really blown up
fucking
internationally.
dope. Yeah.
They're signed to Damnably, which is a UK label, and Damnably have done what no other label has dared to do, and just fly over a Japanese artist and like get them some recognition.
I listen to Slipknot, and you guys listen to this, huh? Okay.
I you're not going to ever catch me listening to Slipknot.
I do listening for both of us. It's okay.
Yeah,
Let's shopping after show. 16 seconds. Jam. What? I thought I had it on repeat, you son of a bitch. Okay. Yeah,
Hard.
it's a wonderful album.
and also
It's-
super nice people. I got to meet them earlier this year, and super nice, really pleasant people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Kansai.
Yeah. I want to put music back on in the background.
Honorable mentions. Man, I have so many honorable mentions. Let me just blow through them real quick.
Yeah, bust it.
Kung Fu Girls, Sunset Park, Barty Strange, Farm to Table. His song Heavy Heart was one of my favorite songs of the year. Salazar, Neru no Shima, Yureru Landscape, Deadline, Daedalus, Simmers Over, Amy.
I didn't like that Daedalus release.
Echo
but okay.
Chamber, Soul Glow, Diaspora Problems, Panda Golf, Sweet Machine, Beyonce Renaissance, Gila Band, Most Normal, Hudson Mohawk, Cry Sugar, Actress, Dummy
That
Corporation.
Hudson Mohawk album is really good.
It's really good. It's a little too all
really
over the
good.
place for me. It's quite long.
It doesn't
there's
not
feel like an
real
album.
cohesion there, but the tracks are really good.
Feels like a mixtape, but it's great. Dance Forever is also one of my favorite songs of the year. Mars Volta self-titled, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Ice, Death, Planets, Lungs, Mushrooms, and Lava. Boris,
That's a difficult one to remember.
Heavy Rocks 2022, Eiko Ishibashi, for McCoy, Lewis Cole, Quality Over Opinion, Takashi Ichi, Meatwave, Malign Hex, The OCs, A Foul Form, and finally an album that I discovered this morning, Kota Takahashi, Reiwa Type 4. So as my co-hosts know, Type 4 is the production alias that I use when I'm making hip-hop beats.
I had no idea. Type 4.
Never heard of it.
I got that from the game Ridge Racer Type 4 that came out in 1999 on the PlayStation 1, and Kota Takahashi did the soundtrack to that game, and the soundtrack's incredible, and it was a big inspiration for this project that I'm working on. And I found out literally this morning that earlier on in the year, during the summer, Takahashi actually made an imagined, so he made a soundtrack to an imagined sequel to Ridge Racer Type 4. So they never made us, there's Ridge Racer 5, but it's a very different game, and that series changed a lot. But he did like an imagined direct sequel to Type 4, and it's great. It's super cool. So any Ridge Racer Type 4 fans in the house, like, make sure you get on that Kota Takahashi.
I actually, I must have cut my list wrong from my other phone when I pasted it to make an email for my notes here, so I don't have most of my albums, but off the top of my head, the Sam Gendel Superstore,
That's really good.
was really good. There is a Panda Bear collaborative album that he did with somebody. I can't remember the name now. It's really good. The Alex G album was really good. Jerry Paper Free Time was really good. I've mostly put a lot of black artists. I noticed that my list is kind of black heavy, and I'm rocking with it, but I do listen to a lot more like indie shit that just didn't kind of make it to the list. I considered the Panda Bear single, not Panda Bear, Lil Ugly Mane single non-hip-hop because he's really spreading out. He's making
It sounds like
last
eels,
releases.
like it doesn't sound like
So yeah, I don't have much on my list, but another choice, Hazy Sour Cherry, which you're probably familiar with, the Japanese band.
Yep.
Strange World. I have World. Yeah, Strange World. It's kind of all over the place, kind of poppy, kind of fun, quirky. If you're a fan of, I don't know, Deerhoof, you might like it.
Yeah.
They're So
Deerhoof put out an album this year, right?
Did they? I thought it was last year. You put me onto the album from last year, but I didn't check it.
I don't know.
See, I just don't be in the mix like that.
The Deerhoof,
Deerhoof is fucking hard.
They were here
Yeah.
as well. I think Satomi might still be here.
Yeah?
Okay, no, the album came out
Get on
last
the
year. It was on my
podcast.
list, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it.
Secret House.
Secret House, non-hip
all
hop
right.
albums of the year. Spade coming through with the best list this time, objectively.
Slipknot, listen
Yeah.
to that. Slushy, EDM, listen to that.
R.I.P.
Sullivan
Amy
King.
Winehouse.
Yes.
Fuck Lannis.
You know what?
Hate that album. Hate that shit.
Bro. Like this guy.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, this contour in the background. But yeah, peace.
Peace.